Hello, and welcome to Final Fantasy Tactics. I turned down the stream volume, but I did not turn down the volume in my ears. That's better for me. Okay. So, I'm going to do what I tried to do at the end of the last stream. Scriptures of Germanique. Hello. Thank you for saying hi. So I'm going to start this over because the stream broke when I tried to read it last time. I opened the Scriptures of Germanique, entrusted to me by Elder Simon, and began to leaf through the pages. The words before my eyes were writ in the holy script of the ancients, far beyond my ken. Several illustrations were scattered throughout, but many pages were missing or damaged, and the script was exceedingly difficult to decipher. As I turned the pages, faintly penned words in modern Ivalisian script occasionally caught my eye. Notes of an explanatory nature had been added here and there throughout the book, all written in the same hand, though exactly whose I could not say. A faint scent of ink rose from these notes, and as I touched my finger to one of them the writing smeared. It seemed to have been penned only in the last few days. I then realized that these transcriptions were most likely Elder Simon's work. He must have devoted a significant portion of his life as custodian of the underground library to deciphering these scriptures, line by painstaking line. I relied heavily on his fragmentary notes as I continued reading. Apparently, the Holy Script had been recorded by Germanique, but who was that? The name struck a familiar chord as half-forgotten history lessons rose unbidden in my mind, and then I remembered. Germanique was a disciple of Saint Ajora who betrayed his master, turning him over to the Holy Edoran Empire, and in so doing, ensured his name would live on in infamy. I was astounded that a librum penned by the same Germanique for my history lessons now rested in my very hands. Saint Ajora was a child of the gods, descended from the heavens to deliver humanity from its self-inflicted chaos. By his prophecies was the word of the divine imparted upon mortal men. After his death, these teachings formed the basis of the Church of Glabados, its name meaning to obey God in the holy tongue of the ancients. The church's influence later spread throughout Ivalice and further afield to Ordalia, Ramonda, and beyond. The deeds of Saint Ajora are known to all, and yet I would seek to learn more of his remarkable journey. Saint Ajora's birth came some 1200 years ago, in the midst of a golden age of technology, when airships yet plied the skies. He was born in Thessalia, in the city of Brevenia. Moments after his birth, he rose to his feet and approached the well. Upon reaching its base, words of prophecy poured forth from his infant lips. A calamity shall soon befall this well. Seal it up at once, that none may drink of it. Some days later a plague descended on the town of Brevenia, and all those who drank from the well succumbed to the contagion and perished. Only those families who heeded the prophetic words of Saint Ajora were spared from malady and death. After the incident with the well, the people came to revere Saint Ajora as a portent of miracle and child of the gods. Then, at the age of 20, his life was cut short. The circumstances surrounding his death are closely tied to the legend of the Zodiac Braves, told throughout Ivalice since ancient times. To trace the story of these fabled warriors, I must delve yet further into the past. Ivalice was not always united as it is today. Long ago the realm was divided into 7 domains: Fovaham, Lionel, Limbury, Thessalia, Gallione, Zeltenia, and Moland, each warred with the others in a never-ending struggle to expand its own territory. It was the age of feudalism. This conflict had continued for centuries, until an ambitious young king rose to power in Moland. This young monarch dreamt of uniting all of Ivalice under his hand, but the road to victory was a difficult and dangerous one. The king turned to ancient tomes and the dark magics found within, summoning a demon from the netherworld to do his bidding. But once unleashed, the demon slew the king and set out to destroy the very world itself. To combat this monstrosity, a great hero set out on a quest. Together with his 12 comrades, he collected the zodiac stones that had been scattered throughout the world, and thereby formed the Zodiac Braves. These warriors soon defeated the demon and its minions, and banished the creature back to its infernal plane. Their deeds came to be told as the legend of the Zodiac Braves. The Zodiac Braves have since appeared whenever the world balanced on the brink of catastrophe, only to vanish just as quickly once the crisis had been averted. Similar catastrophe threatened the world in the time of Saint Ajora. The liege lord of Limberry summoned a demon in hopes of seizing control of all of Ivalice, and once again plunged the world into chaos. And just as in the legend, Saint Ajora collected the 12 Zodiac stones. Once again the Zodiac Braves rose to defeat the marauding demon. Thus was Saint Ajora hailed as the world's savior. However, the sovereigns of any age have small tolerance for the interference of well-meaning heroes. Saint Ajora's fame drew the ire of the Holy Adoran Empire, which dispatched soldiers to capture him and his devoted followers. Pharaohism was a prevalent religion in that day, and its priests feared Ajora's growing influence. Ultimately, Germanique, the 13th disciple, was tempted by sordid coin, offering vital information that led to his master's capture. The saint was executed upon the gallows of Golgotha soon thereafter. But lest we forget, Saint Ajora was a child of the gods. The wrath of the heavens was swift and terrible. Immediately following the execution, Malande, the center of Ferrist teachings, was visited by a terrible cataclysm. The skies rained blood, and a storm of golden lightning ravaged the city. The very earth trembled, and with a thunderous roar, Malande sank into the sea. This was the legend with which I was familiar, the very same tale told to every child of Ivalice. But the Saint Ajora described within the scriptures of Germanique was a different man altogether. Ajora was no child of the gods. He was a mere mortal, no more divine than you or I. He was a revolutionary who fought to realize his own ambitions. He was no lover of peace, no hero who would sacrifice himself for the good of humanity. Germanique wrote of him, as the founder of a new religion with a rising number of followers, Ajora was seen as no more than a nuisance to the empire. But to the slaves and the destitute, who suffered most under imperial rule, the fair treatment and equal opportunities espoused by Ajora appeared as a ray of hope, and he as their savior. But Ajora was apparently more than just a religious founder. He was a saboteur who infiltrated enemy states to collect information and sow disorder. Ajora was a spy, dispatched to the Holy Adoran Empire by a rival state. His teachings, the faith they inspired, and the influence he wielded were but contrivances to enact the downfall of the empire, orchestrated from within its borders by Ajora himself. But for all his guile, the Imperials were fully aware of the threat that Ajora posed. Germanique was employed to collect evidence that would allow the Empire to arrest Ajora as a spy. The 13th disciple was in reality no more than the Empire's instrument in the play to uncover Ajora's true intentions. It seems that Ajora indeed attempted to form the Zodiac Braves. Germanique confirmed in his writings that Ajora even discovered some of the stones, and had entrusted them to his closest disciples. But what was his purpose in forming the Zodiac Braves anew? I do not know if the liege lord of Limberry actually summoned a demon. Elder Simon's notes speak of his doubts on the matter, and not a single line within the scriptures seems to record the event. Nevertheless, it appears the catastrophe in which the greater part of Milan sank into the sea did indeed coincide with Ajora's execution. The footnotes provide further enlightenment. They express a different view, no doubt the personal opinion of Elder Simon. Although many spoke of their existence, none had ever set eyes upon these scriptures of Germanique. Some might say they are fraudulent, written with the sole purpose of discrediting Saint Ajora, but I know this tome to be authentic. When I served as an inquisitor for the Church, those in its upper echelons feared the existence of this work, and the same is no doubt true for the High Confessor. They were all fearful of these writings, for everything contained within them is fact. After St. Ajora's death, the Church, which had capitalized on his considerable influence to seize power for itself, had only one task: to conceal his true nature as a human being. This one fact had to be erased from the annals of history. They needed to ensure that Saint Ajora be remembered as a child of the gods. Their use of the Zodiac Braves, a legend believed throughout the continent, was a stroke of genius. It was a simple feat to convince the people that Saint Ajora had led the Zodiac Braves to defeat a demon that never existed. I realize now that I had lost my faith the moment I began to read these scriptures, and yet I feel no sorrow. Thinking back, I now know that my desire to know the truth was stronger than my faith had ever been. But above all, I am as guilty as any involved in this great travesty. All these years the Church has concealed the truth and lied to our flock. Though I am compelled to condemn these acts, I cannot bring myself to do so. Even were I to bring the Scriptures before the people, the Church would not stand idle. In all likelihood, I would be accused of heresy and burned at the stake. But that is not the true reason for my inaction. This library is everything to me. It is a treasure beyond compare, the only means of slaking my endless thirst for knowledge. If I were to share this book with the world, my precious library would be taken from me. I cannot allow it. To be separated from my tomes, I can think of no pain greater. In the end, my curiosity eclipsed my will to do what was right. Within these pages lies the truth hidden by the Church for so many years. The miracles of Saint Ajora were naught but lies, and he but an ordinary man. By interweaving the events surrounding Ajora's death with his mendacious teachings, his followers fabricated a means by which to seize power. But is that surely all there is to know? Elder Simon wrote that Saint Ajora's demon never existed, but I have seen the dark power of the Zodiac Stones with my own eyes. There is an evil presence at work, something much more sinister than even the High Confessor and his twisted plots. And that was, in fact, an achievement. So now that we had a 12.5 minute lore dump to start this episode, let's get into actual things. Ramsa is currently a ninja, that is fine. Little John is now a level 8 thief, but has not yet mastered the job. Uh, he still needs to learn the movement abilities. And since I only did heart hands and didn't actually say anything, welcome to the stream, Dexy, if you're still here. So I have a couple more spells to learn there, a few more spells to learn here, and Margeria I haven't been using. Actually, I haven't been using Little John either. Stadio is a master, but only level 7. Machinist, 38 to level 8. And she is already level 8, but is 15 JP away from mastering that job. I think what I should do, being so hilariously close to mastering certain jobs, is to just do a regular random battle real quick. So here are Heights. We have a number of beasts. We've got 2 curls right next to me, and a red panther on the other side. Another curl up there, and another red panther, and a random geomancer. So I don't like how close I'm starting off to the uh, enemies. I will put Ramza and Agrius on the ends. I'll put the white mage in the middle and the black mage on that side. Alright, we will try this. But I'm not particularly fond of this layout. My hope is that they try to attack Ramsa and he gets first strike. But they'll probably attack me. Oh no! They're going for Ramsa. And he did not strike first. It wasn't even listed as a option. Do I not have first strike equipped right now? No, I do. It just didn't happen. That will almost kill. I'll face that way in case. I didn't know what way the... Oh, we got a crit. Well, that sucks. I counter with a rod. I will come over here and take out this one real quick. And he's now a level 8 machinist. I will come over here and Arise Ramza. I have a 100% chance because of Zodiac Affinity. Agrius will stand here, and what does the most? That does 84. It's probably Hallowed Bolt that does the most. That being said, I'm going to do the thing that can have a small chance of instant KO. I think it's like a 2% chance or something ridiculously low like that. I can finish it off though, I'm reasonably certain. Nah, no I cannot. uh, well, unless I used Flare, but I don't want to burn all of my magic on turn 1. That would do 103. That would do 172 and nearly kill you. Shield parry. And Ramsa will come back with all of his health because Arise is cool like that. And we'll kill this one. And I'll actually come over here so that they are protected from being attacked. Agrius did not parry that one, but she did get the counter tackle. Can I shoot between the two? No, I cannot. Okay. Well, then I have to move. I can't hit the one that's far away, so I'll just shoot this one. I'll do a little cure here. Make sure that everyone's doing okay. And I'll finish off this Red Panther with just a regular attack. Alright. I'm kind of concerned about that Geomancer, actually. If I cast the Thundaga there... let me see the full... Now the Geomancer is going right, is moving right away. No matter what I do with this, it looks like there's no way that I cast before everyone moves. The only way I can cast before is if I go for the Red Panther. I can move before it in some cases. So I will do that. I will face that way because the skull is protecting me from the other side. I'm going to get rid of the Geomancer. At least as quickly as I can. Oh, she struck back with... Can I arm shot her? Not from there, I can't. It would be very nice if she couldn't act for a few turns. There we go. Mustadio is hurt significantly again. I don't think the Geomancer is going to... I was wondering if the Geomancer would move into my care range. Apparently she decided that was a good idea. Come on, Ramsa, do your thing. No. The most important thing to me right now is taking care of the Geomancer. I believe they are the most dangerous enemy. Ramsa will move before the spell goes off. So if I hit her and then the spell goes off, the Geomancer's down. I don't like the 58% chance, so I'll just attack. And as for you, I could cast Re-Raise on Ramsa so that if he goes down again, he'll just come back. Why can't I select that tile? I want to use Judgment Blade on 2 of them. I'll just do Hallowed Blade. %44 chance, and it hit. I will have Ramsa kill you. And then pick up the chest. Alright, if Ramsa dies, he'll come back. At this point, I kind of want to... I almost want to wait, because I've been working on Geomancer with some people. I'm having very much trouble getting Stadio to where I want him to be. Hey, 58% chance worked. Everyone who is not named Mustadio or Agrius can just focus. Agrius won't kill it with a regular attack. Mustadio would kill it from here. Oops. I did not plug in my computer. I just experienced some slowdown. Which means I'm somewhere around 50% power, probably. Alright. 40% power actually is where I was. And for some reason, when I plug in my computer, it decides to resize all of my windows. I don't know why. Okay. So I'm going to try a leg shot. So they can't move either. Got the 58% chance again. Let's move someone else to the crystal. Now someone who has been using all their MP to heal everyone. Um, I'll shoot you. If I do that, Ramsa might kill her actually. Okay, the Geomancer became a robe, not a crystal. So let's end the battle. That's a decent amount of kill. Okay, I wanted to do all of that because people were close to finishing jobs. Ramsa is now a level 7. Uh, Level 7 ninja. And can throw anything. I'll probably finish ninja with him just because I'm so close at this point. Uh, you got 900, which allows you to learn one of the 2 remaining spells. You have 1099, which allows you to learn one of the remaining spells. Oh, I didn't learn Basaka yet. I should have done that. Oh well. Next battle. Uh, that should... Mustadio had already mastered, so I'm going to change his job to chemist because that allows him to continue using his gun. And Agrius learns Divine Ruination, and that masters Holy Knight, so I will change her job to Regular Knight. And let her keep her Holy Sword abilities. Alright, so we had a couple job changes. And I will save the game before let's get some actual story progress today too. The walled city of Yardro. It chooses where to put Ramza. I should probably make Agrius and Mustadio favorites instead of Little John and Margeria.
He murdered our parents. It is you who needs to open your eyes, Marak.
I'll not abide your ill-mannered tongue.
You know, don't you? You know of the thing he did to me. You are my brother. You know of this, and even yet you...
Speak not another word. Any more from you, and so help me God.
We should beat the crap out of him.
Our quarry draws nigh.
I am well aware, and long since made ready.
Marak!
That's him.
Rafa!
Pray, lend me your aid.
You're the Grand Duke's man. Did you not say you'd await my coming at Riovanis?
I did but deliver the Grand Duke's message as asked. I do not need the Templarids' swords to slay some petty knight apprentice.
Understood. It's up to me.
She at least appears to have a cloak so she can dodge some of the things that are being thrown.
So you are the heretic Ramza. Help me, I beg you.
I'm not certain what this is about, but questions can wait.
Maybe if you're asking for someone's health, you shouldn't refer to them as the heretic.
I will see you safe.
Thank you.
Oh, she's using her spell, one of her spells. She has many.
What is the meaning of this, Marak? Has Rafa betrayed us?
Pay her no heed. The heretic is your sole concern. Once we have dealt with him, I would personally put an end to my sister's defiance.
But how will you explain this to the Grand Duke? You know the punishment for betrayal is death.
Did I not just tell you that is none of your concern? Breathe word of any of this to the Grand Duke, and that breath will be your last.
This girl is his sister. Would he truly harm her?
Not everyone cares about their sister the way you do, Ramza.
No turning back.
Alright, I should probably, if the whole point of this is to keep her alive, I should probably make sure that she's healed. Let's see. That is centered on that square, so I'll move here and see if any of my strikes can reach any of them. But I don't think I have the range. Yep, I can hit him with Hallowed Bolt. Uh, Divine Ruination is a vertical. I will hit him with Hallowed Bolt.
Right then.
You might think because he's important that defeating Merak would end the battle, but no. You do have to defeat all of the enemies. Oh, I can finish him off though.
Damn it. Do the gods favor a heretic over me?
You slapped your sister. The gods favor everyone over you. Ass. It looks like if I do any more than second tier, the ninjas move before I get to act again. So I will do that.
Flames of wrathful guardian, I hereby invoke heaven and earth to scorch Ashura!
Oh,
Gods above.
Well, one of them's down. And the other one will definitely go down thanks to, I might be able to stop one of their summons if Ramza can move far enough. This should take out one and injure another. Oh wow, he's going straight for Mustadio. And because he's blocking the way in, I cannot get to any of the summoners right now. He's dead now, but let's see, that's hitting Mustadio and my mage. This will hit Agrius and the mage. So my black mage might go down. She's going to the corner. I will cure these people first. Oh, I thought I was in line. I can hit you through a wall.
Not looking good.
I made him a chemist, but I didn't actually get any things. I'll just wait. %82 chance for each hit. I was successful in taking you out. Shiva is cast immediately, which is not good for me. If the battle continues long enough, I will raise the black mage, but as much as I'm interested in maybe learning some skills from these people, ending the battle is more important, I think.
Are you alright?
Yes, I'm fine. Thank you.
We will not be safe here should more of them appear. Let us find a quiet place to hide.
Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting heretics. Yagyu Darkroot. Not to be confused with Wagyu, which I got to smell yesterday, and it made me very hungry. I was doing delivery from a Japanese steakhouse.
Grand Duke Barrington has eyes for one thing. The throne of Ivalice. They call him king already. King of the Forge. He fashions ever more and stronger arms for his ever-growing army. Even as he fielded his forces during the 50 Years' War, he quietly began making preparations to take the throne for himself.
Is making those weapons why one of his ninjas was able to throw a diamond sword?
His actions are guided from the shadows, by men who would use his ambition to their own ends. His blood ties to the crown give him a strong claim, rendering him an ideal pawn. These schemers would incite the war between the Dukes Larg and Goltana, allowing the Grand Duke to swoop in and assume regency. With the groundwork thus laid, they would then eliminate the Duke's respective charges, King Orinus and Queen Avelia, leaving the new regent as the foremost candidate for the throne. This, I suspect, was the plan used to entice the Grand Duke.
And you fight the church, even though it means you must be labeled a heretic. Why would you do such a thing? That is a silly question. I know the answer. But surely you must realize your efforts will earn you no thanks.
I do not fight for gratitude. I am a Beowulf. I fight for the honor of my name.
Truly, you strike me not as the sort of man to fight for things so trite. No, you see evil and injustice before your eyes and cannot turn away. You do not even think to seek reward. Would that more were like you.
spoken enough of me. What will you do now? I must make for Riovanes. They still hold my sister. Now that you've escaped, I expect you wish to go somewhere far away.
I cannot leave. Not without my brother.
This quarrel between the two of you. Will you not tell me about it?
He refuses to accept the truth. We were orphaned in the war, you see. We lost our parents, our home, all but our lives. The memories haunt me even now. Climbing mounds of rubble in search of any scrap of food. The air ever thick with death's foul stench. That was the life from which the Grand Duke spared us. At the time, I thought it sure the gods had sent him.
You are not alone. He has erected a great many orphanages. A noble gesture of less than noble intent. He wanted assassins. The orphanages gave him a pool of willing young minds, allowing him to select the very best to mold and train. He must have seen some promise in you and your brother.
We Galtanas are the keepers of a sacred art, passed down through generations. My brother and I are conduits. I of the heavens and he of the nether. We channel their power through mantras. The Grand Duke desired that power for his own. When our elder refused him, he put our entire village to the torch. All is grist that comes to that man's mill. If there is a thing he cannot have, he thinks it better that it not exist at all. To imagine the joy he must have felt when he discovered the two of us among the other orphans. It turns my stomach.
So when you learned of all this, you tried to flee?
My brother and I loved the man, as though he were our father. But even that did not stop him from...
I would have thought you fled further.
Marak!
Heed my words, heretic. Spare no haste on your way to Riovanes. Tarry here, and you next meet your sister in the afterlife.
Harm a hair on her head, and I'll have you there for company.
Rafa, you will accompany Ramza. Run, and the death of his sister hangs on your shoulders.
You play a craven game, Marak. This has naught to do with them.
I play no game. I trust you know what awaits should you try my patience any longer.
And he blew up the dude.
Come, Ramza. Let us make for Riovanes.
Forgive me. I did not mean to draw you into this.
You didn't. This madness is none of your doing.
So we have a guest party member, Rafa.
Let us go.
Greetings. After all,
There's new stock available here.
you're in safe hands with me.
I can do gold hairpin and power garb.
May I help with all
Let
that?
me look at the actual things I learned. I'm gonna be ninja for a bit longer. I already did all this, didn't I? Yeah. Okay.
Welcome. Take as long as you need. You're in safe hands with me. This is your Grand You might be
The golden staff is better. I lose a little bit of magic power if I do that, but the boost to my stats I think are worth it. Here my magic power actually goes up thanks to the wizard's rod.
this is your any
Yeah, we're mostly getting
will that be all? By all means.
uh, I'm going to buy a number of items. I'll buy a few, just a few potions.
May I help with aught else? By all means.
What kind of accessories have we got here? We got Hermes shoes, which raises your speed. We got the Elven cloak, which is even better than the Mage's cloak. Vampire cape, which is yet even higher. Uh, these the power gauntlets raise your physical attack power by 1. The bracers do it by 3. Oh gosh, these things are rare, and I know that it's recommended that you buy some of them while you can. I don't feel like I'm forgetting something. He only knows potion and antidote. He needs to learn new things. If we want to look at Rafa's stuff, she has Sky OBS reconnected. Rafa knows 3 of her heaven or her mantras right now. All 3 do damage randomly within the area of effect, but do different elements. Heaven's Wrath is lightning, Ashura is fire, and Adamantine Blade is wind damage. Okay, so the things that rotate in and out of store inventories in terms of accessories are the Japamala, the Jade Armlet, the Angel Ring, the Nukai Armband, and the Magic Ring. So if you see those, it doesn't hurt to grab a couple while you see it. So give me a couple Jade Armlets, a couple Japamala, a couple Nukai Armbands, Angel Ring and Magic Ring are the other things. Grab a couple Magic Rings. The Angel Ring, which I do not see here, grants immunity to KO and blindness. But Stone and Stop, the Japamala is Poison Toad, Vampire, and Undead. Nukai Armband for Confusion and Charmed, and the Magic Ring, Silence and Berserk. I'm going to buy a I can't afford any bracers, otherwise I'd buy a couple of those as well. Though I could probably sell some of my older stuff. Like, do I still need leather clothing? No. I did get a luminous robe. Is that actually better than what I currently have on a mage? Yes, actually. It lowers physical attack, but it would grant me additional health and magic, as a matter of fact. Regardless of who I put it on. I think I am better off giving it to my white mage. Being able to heal people more is better. Alright, let's go on to this additional area. I actually want to grind for money. I never do that. Alright, we need to dismiss some chocobos. I'll put him on that higher area. I have too many chocobos. Let's try this. There's probably some undead here. Huh, lots of undead. And floating, wizards.
Those who fell in the 50 Years' War still linger in this wood. Let us lay these wandering souls to rest.
Mustadios seal evil and, Hamon's, holy would do a lot of work here. But the mages are dead too. I'm actually going to back up a space and prepare myself. She's just gonna go. So with my current HP or my current magic, I can cast Holy twice. It would do 400 damage. Let's not go crazy just yet. I will just get everyone prepared for what's coming. The only person I expect to do a actual action against enemies this turn is Mustadio. Actually Aegis probably will too. It says channels holy energy. I don't know if it actually is a holy elemental attack though. It only does 72, probably not. Divine Ruination I don't think will hit because I think it's a ground-based attack. Yeah, just because it says Holy Sword doesn't mean it's actually Holy Elemental. Alright, so I can steal an evil. 77% chance to get rid of one of the black mages. And they can't do anything about that. Also remember that fire is effective against the undead. I don't need to go that far. No, a very basic fire will take it out. Goodbye. And now they're out of, well, almost out of Ramses' range. Let's take care of a ghost. I'm putting him at risk of taking significant amounts of damage, but you're trying to cast slow. Can I kill you before that happens? No. It will take a very, very long time to cast that, and it won't even take you out if I did. I'm gonna move you here. Get you closer to the other ghosts. I forgot about the teleporting. If I can get you, that would prevent the slow. There we go. Two mages turned to stone, but now Ramses has been slowed. I'm just gonna attack the ghost straight up. That will finish it off. Ramses is in danger. Can I kill you? Yeah.
Leave it to me.
Rams is now in less danger. Because the Time Wizard has just been using... No. Has not been attacking. Just trying to slow us down. I'll just shoot you to get experience. And... If I strike... How far is uh, the effective area of Divine Ruination? It's not that far. I don't know any Art of War. If I could, like, reduce physical attack or something. Time Wizard out of my range. Ramses' slow is done, so they're trying to immobilize me instead. If he goes off, he goes off. You are facing that way. Okay.
Let us put some distance between us and this haunted wood.
I had a easier time than I could have in that battle since Mustadio's Seal Evil worked every time I tried it. Take reflexes, but they're still vanish and water walking. It's fine, he's not at level 8 yet anyway. Alright, we have a Master White Mage. That being said, I think I'll probably want a White Mage for the next battle. So I won't change her next, but based on how job progressions go, I will probably make him a Mystic. Which has some fun abilities in it. And she will probably become a Black Mage once I finally, or a Time Mage once I finally learn all that craziness. Let's make it so that Mustadio can bring people back. Please. And let's make it so that she can do something. Rend speed, I think, would be very helpful to me. And I have too many chocobos. I think if neither faith or bravery is above 62. Though I guess low faith would actually be better on them. That's actually pretty good. This is okay, but no. No. I don't want to get rid of all of my chocobos yet because there is a achievement for mounting one. I just typically don't want to use them. If you could just like toggle an option to make them not give you more eggs, I think I would like that. That one just has high faith. Which makes it more susceptible to magic damage. Alright. Rafa will become a permanent party member eventually. But I don't know if, like other guest characters, she'll temporarily forget everything. Alright, Riovanis Castle. Yes, you talk too much.
Very well. I shall ask you outright. Will you not join your strength with mine? As I said a moment ago, it is power that rules Ivalice. Who do you think now holds power? Duke Larg, the White Lion? Or Duke Goltana, the Black? No. I can assure you it is not they. The ones who hold true power are the ones who hold the Zodiac Stones. The Knights Templar. The stones are said to possess phenomenal magic, far surpassing any arcane apparatus or enchanted relic one might care to mention. They are even held to be responsible for the cataclysm that laid waste to Molond in bygone days. While this is generally regarded as a fairy tale, I know for a fact that Saint Ajora himself once wielded the stones. And using their power, he annihilated his foes. No mere fable invented to inspire the masses, this, but a true miracle of the gods. Now, at this very moment, you and yours seek the stones. What do you wish to achieve with such fearsome might? Speak you in seriousness, Your Grace. Forgive me, but I would never have expected a man like yourself to believe in such utter fantasy. You mean to tell me that you do not? For Knights Templar, you exhibit a surprising lack of faith in the holy power of the
I
Zodiac
find your lack of
Stones.
faith disturbing.
I find that rather curious. I had heard that the Cardinal's death was somehow connected to the stones. Truly? As I had it, the Cardinal had taken ill. Is that so? Might I ask, then, the reason you seek that young Beowulf? I can only imagine what he must have done to earn the label of heretic. The Inquisitors do not share with us the reasons for their decisions. So, even the Knights Templar know nothing at all. How terribly convenient. Still, I wonder if there could not be some detail you are simply forgetting. Marak!
Father, forgive me.
Your meaning becomes clearer. Your boy was carrying Scorpio and Taurus, which we've taken for safekeeping. You worthless fool of a son.
Such abuse.
Pardon my intrusion, Your Grace, but your long-awaited guests are at our gate.
Marak, would you kindly see to them? What is it you wish, Barrington? Cooperation. I said as much a few moments ago.
Really, moments?
Be a mutually beneficial arrangement, I assure you. And if we were to refuse? Then I suppose I'd be forced to unmask the Church's plot for what it is. The stones alone prove naught. In that you are correct, sir. But it would be hard to say the same of the scriptures of Germanique. After all these years as naught but rumors, who could have guessed that the Church had them under lock and key in the vaults of Aubonne Monastery? Were their contents to be made public, I imagine the Church would suffer a dizzying fall from grace. Its faithful flock would scatter to the four winds. Of course, in order to save itself, the Church would most certainly deny the scriptures as false. But that still
Hello again.
Graf, see to the mage who left a moment ago. I shall attend to matters here.
Do not think to threaten me. This is a battle you cannot hope to win.
No, it is one we cannot possibly lose. Who is there to oppose us, save you feeble-bodied humans?
Father?
You misjudged the strength of your enemy, Gareth Barrington. There will be no sport in killing you.
You would raise arms against your host under his own roof?
Fools.
The hospitality of your hall grows cold. I fear I shall have to take my leave. Once I've shown you the power of the stones.
Unfortunately, that's just kind of how it is.
Alright. Hmm?
I wish I could just turn up the voice audio, but it's kind of all tied together. I'll double check once I actually have access to an options menu. But for some reason it didn't give me one there. So I can put 2 here and 3 in the other. I'll put the black mage with Ramza. And then I'll put my other people over here.
Right.
It's time.
This is the castle gate. We'll be fighting Barak again.
Please, Marak, heed my words. We can leave this place together.
Death is the price for disloyalty. You know this as well as I. The Grand Duke sees all debts paid in kind. Turncloaks are set upon by their once friends and hunted relentlessly. To flee this day is to live those that remain in fear, ever wondering when the knife will find its mark. Such is not a life I choose to lead. And nor should you. If we but finish this one last task for him, the Grand Duke will release us both from his service. He swore as much to me, so stand aside, Rafa. Once I have slain the heretic, you and I are free.
Barrington swore it on what? His honor? The man lies, and we both know it. Believe him now, and you will spend the rest of your days as his assassin, as his tool.
I believe the Grand Duke. I must. There is no other way. I will kill that man and take the scriptures from his corpse. And then his grace will cut our chains.
Defeat all enemies. And Ramza's ninja will go first.
Your sister has the right of it. We are not the ones you should be fighting.
Our problems are not your concern. You would do well to worry about your own sister. Hand over the scriptures of Germanique, and the Grand Duke may yet let you both live.
Like hell.
You mustn't heed him, Ramza. Even if my brother believes his own words, you'll get not a sliver of mercy from Barrington. Once the man
I
has
know
what
that.
he desires, he will dispose of you both. Surrender the scriptures, and you forfeit your only leverage. So long as you hold that book, your sister's life is guaranteed.
Marek, deep down you see it too, do you not? The Grand Duke is not to be
simply choose to be free. You cannot begin to comprehend our struggle. No matter our orders, we must surrender to our master's will.
You're wrong, Marak. We are not bound as you believe. 'Tis fear that stays you, a fear that Barrington himself planted. Unless you find the courage to defy the man, forever will you cower in his shadow. Surely you do not wish this. And I, for one, refuse to suffer it any longer.
But I...
Do not allow Barrington to deceive you. His words are honeyed poison, concocted to manipulate hearts and minds. You have the strength, brother. Come with me, and let us be free at last.
Okay, let me find sound settings. Yeah, the voice volume is as high as it goes. Unfortunately, so I cannot turn it up anymore. I do recognize that they speak somewhat quietly. I'm actually going to back up a spot.
Where to?
Oh, I did not think the archer would reach me from that far. I mean, I know that they're elevated and that greatly increases the range of a
Where to?
archer, but I didn't think they would reach me from there. Can I just straight up kill this knight? No, I cannot. What about Mara? Can I do enough damage to him to end him? No, not even close. I can do like 200 damage to that one though. I must have some sort of uh, zodiac affinity there. If I can do that much damage to him. It's an 85% chance to hit, but I'll go for it. I meant to move. Darn it.
The man appears to be ignorant of the Orsite secret if his demand is only for the scriptures of Germany.
I accidentally skipped some dialogue there,
I
but
posit that he merely seeks to gain political advantage over church and crown.
Vile though he is a man of station. Killing him would be ill-advised. Is that what you wish to say?
Indeed. 'Tis an easy thing to strike at the foe before, but lest we forget, he stands in the line of succession.
Very well. If he has not been corrupted like the Cardinal, then I shall overlook his ambitions. My foremost concern remains Alma. We will leave with her, and Rafa and Marak as well.
if I can get close enough to that mage, then between the magic and the hallowed blade, he'll actually go down.
Ramsar, what do you make of these two? Marak in particular.
Worry not. He will come around. Of this I am certain.
If you say so, then very well. I'll do my best not to kill him.
Of all the times to jape. You are a droll fellow, Mustadio.
So I can hit him. I can hit him, but I don't see there to be any reason to. I'll just shoot this knight. Cloak evasion worked out for me. I think I'll try and... I got one hit on him. Cloak evasion again. Oh, I misjudged the amount. And cloak evasion again. He has a 100% chance to hit Ramza.
I will not
She is using her mantra on the farther away enemies. Are you in holy range, sir? Not quite, but with a strike from Stadio you will be. Because she's casting, he has a 100% chance to hit her.
What you say is true, Lord. Were we to run, we would only be hunted down. We must settle this ourselves.
Oh. Bye.
For wait! Do not be foolish!
You were casting on the archers and then you left. Thanks for nothing. He's gonna try and throw a stone. And then hide in the corner. I'm going to try and get some magic on the archers. Because I can't just leave them to do whatever. If I cast this level of spell, I will hit both of them. This is only one level of Divine Ruination. That will finish him off.
Will upon heart edged. Let minds impure be divine ruination!
Alright, so I don't have to worry about him anymore at least. I wasn't terribly worried, but no, he's gone. With that and Holy, he will go down. Ramsa will continue to work on this knight. But too many shield parries. That knight is done. And now it's giving me a chance to act again. Should I drop another Holy? I think I should. It won't do nearly as much, but it's still fun. And big time fire. They are both grievously injured. First strike, please, please, please. Yes! And one of them was successful. So I just need to hit him one more time. And if I get behind him, it's guaranteed. But now they're trying to arrow Ramsa. He's doing enough damage that they are worried about him. Let's end one of these. Fire will be enough. Doesn't one of these have like unlimited? Yeah. Height is not a concern for that one. And I can reach that far, but there's a wall in the way. With that, Holy will finish that archer off. And prevent... Oh! Deal the falling blow to 5 times with a white magic ability. Got another achievement. One that I wasn't really expecting this time. Can I throw something at you? Not one of my weapons, like... No, it will not hit. That will kill Ramsa. I don't like that. Part of me wants to wait to see if Agrius can get some of the knight skills from the ones that I felled, but... I'll let her strike. I'll let her get the last hit instead of the mage. Alright.
Fools. Advance. Gods of mercy.
Pray let them be safe. Alma, and Rafa too.
Elven folk, high potion, X potion, greatest contribution, Agrius. And Rafa has departed the party.
Ramsay. What was that? Your wounds. What did this to you?
A beast. Oh gods, my limbs grow cold.
Be strong, sir.
Flee, my lady. Flee. There is only death here.
And we continue into the castle keep. When do I fight? How many battles are here? Because there's a battle that you can win very easily if you know that it's coming. But other than that, it's considered to be one of the more difficult battles of the game. I'm pretty sure it is the castle keep that I'm thinking of. And if that is the case, then I need to
Was there something?
prepare. Go back to monk. And I don't need magic attack power increased. I need as much. Unfortunately, I couldn't get bracers, but I will take power gauntlets. I can take water walking too on here. I don't need to worry too much about what everyone else knows right now. But I will still go through everyone. He needs high potions more than anything else. Alright. I think I did something wrong. And I'm getting a spam call. Did I screw this up? I sure did. I somehow brought up my keyboard. How do I go back? Can I not do so? I'll just put whomever and
Understood.
At the ready.
I will reset as soon as I'm able. That's not the way I wanted to do that. It auto-saved in the battle. This is what I want. Sheesh.
What is it?
Change him to monk,
This will do.
but make the dual wield so I can attack twice. The power gauntlets again. And I wanted you to learn at least the saga before I advanced. Okay, now commence battle. I'm actually going to move Ramza back if I can. And I get to put one more person in this group. It'll be Agrius.
I won't disappoint.
And I'll put the
Ready as ever.
mages and ranged in the back.
To battle.
And now let's do this for real.
By the gods. I've been waiting for you. Draw your sword, Ramza. Not in the mood. I hope you will not object to me drawing mine. I pity you, Wheatgraf. More than you can know. What must Milyudha think to see you now? You would sell your soul to the Lucavi to slake your thirst for revenge.
Revenge? You think that is what drives me? I have no such petty concerns. All has been made clear to me. I now understand power's true purpose. It is simple, really. Power is meant for ruling over those who possess it not. I still burn for revolution, of course. As much as I ever did. 'Twas that fervent desire that the stone heeded when it answered me in my darkest hour. And so, by its will, I shall bring change to this corrupt world. I shall see it reborn. Your time is at an end, Ramza. I shall savor healing you school.
I mean, yeah, who else is here? Unfortunately, as a monk, he is faster than me. And I start where I start. Oh, good lord! He did half of my health. He did more than half of my health. So the idea
I must concentrate.
is to use Tailwind enough that you are always getting multiple turns in a row. And try not to get killed right away. That's annoying. He should not be able to do that much damage to me. But I saw that if I use Tailwind once, I do get another turn right away.
Come on.
So I also need to use Chakra to keep myself from dying. If I use Tailwind, do I get another turn again? I hope so. No, I did not, and that means I die. Wheatgraf does not do this much damage. No, I don't want to change the formation. Son of a bitch. The formation doesn't matter. No matter where you put Ramza, he starts in the same spot. which means I have to skip through all the dialogue again, because it thinks, oh, you changed the formation, you must need to know everything they said. Again. Maybe I should choose a uh, something that raises my he got 2 turns in a row that time. I'm waiting for me to get enough turns in a row that I can always be fully healed and even have some time to use focus. What the hell? I've never had this much difficulty with this battle. It is not as hard as we are typically led to believe. The problem is that he gets 2 turns in a row right there. And if he gets 2 turns in a row, I am almost guaranteed to die. I need to use chakra again. Otherwise he'll be able to take me out this turn. I need to hope that I'll get 2 turns in a row here. I did not, so I'm dead. Okay, I do have to go back. I need more speed from the start. So I need to change my accessory. I can get as much power as I want from focus. I need to be able to move faster. If I even have a something that increases my speed. I might not. No, I have nothing that raises my speed. So let's do battle boots so I get I get 1 extra movement. Maybe that'll help. And if it still doesn't work, then I just need to leave.
As you wish.
My turn, is it?
I'm ready.
Onward.
If the battle works the way I'm hoping it will, it doesn't matter where I put anyone else.
By the god.
Can I fast forward, please? Okay. He always gets that second turn on the second time around. I have to use Chakra again because if he hits me, I die. And I have no way to guarantee that I'm out of his range. I can't escape him. And every Chakra does less than he deals by a significant margin. I'll try once from the start of the battle, but I don't see how I possibly beat him.
I must concentrate.
Let me see if I can actually just straight up kill him. The fuck with it.
Orisight is the work of demons, not gods. The Zodiac Braves, they're unholy knights. They are heroes of a false legend.
This is about to go really bad, but
Miracles are false. Those who would lead prefer that history suit their needs and rewrite it to see that it does. And why shouldn't they? The masses yearn for gods and miracles. It is their opiate, and they consume it greedily. They do not aspire to greatness, but rather mire themselves in their petty strifes, shackles on the feet of man. Their leaders give them no more than that for which they clamor. It is history's oldest and most oft-repeated tale. Do men exploit this weakness to dominate their fellows? Mayhap they do. But they succeed only because the people are eager to know such dominion. Gods are only illusions born of man's fear. It is they who see the charade for what it is and join in the pageantry nonetheless who are to blame.
And you? You did not conquer your fear. You turned to the Orisight to find your miracle.
I could have done this better actually.
Because I am weak, because I fear that I turned to the gods, and in doing so, I learned that there are no gods. In their place, those you name demons heeded my call. Human and imperfect though I remain, I now possess might enough to reshape the world. What of you, Ramza? Can you claim to be free of weakness and fear?
No, but I endeavor to be so.
No amount of endeavoring will grant you true power. Or do you presume your Beowulf blood allows you to conquer your failings? No matter. We shall soon see who is the weak and who is the strong. You are stronger than I had thought.
You cannot run, Wheagrath. Show yourself!
Why would I run? I command power absolute.
The reason I wanted to buff up Ramza is any buffs you give him in the first part of the battle, he carries into the second part.
I am your doom. You fight alone no more. Then nor shall I. In fellowship as well does power lie. Whose might is greater? Now we shall decide.
Because you only have to defeat Belias. And if you have a bunch of focuses and Ramza as a monk and punching twice, then the moment the battle ends, you can just walk up to him and kill him. But as I do not have those powers, I'm doing like 230 per hit, and that's not enough to kill him. He's killing everyone. If he gets a chance. I'm gonna put a wall on Ramza. I'm gonna bet that he's immune to everything. Even though I know it's not true. I know that there's something that he's weak to. I just don't remember what it is off the top of my head. Gonna bet it's not disable. He's not immune to immobilize. I can keep him there. I don't know if he actually... I think he actually targeted the mage. If that's the case, I'm gonna move closer. And if I survive, the Archaeo demons are going down. But I did not survive. Alright, Ramza has Shell and Protect now. Bilius cannot get any closer to me. But he can turn people to stone. Asuna cures stone, right? Pretty sure. Well, whatever the case, it missed. I'm going to keep using Tailwind until he's getting multiple turns in a row. I need to bring you back, one way or another. I'm not having Ramza move to try and get his next attack to come back up faster, but if that triggers, he's dead. They're just too powerful. Yeah, I'm not winning this battle today. So I took out one of the Archaeo demons. Everyone else is dead. Or petrified. And he casts immediately. Everyone dies in one hit to his moves. So it's back to the world map. I need an exceptional amount of training so that I don't die immediately. I'm gonna have Mustadio up fairly close to them so I can start stealing people immediately. There is a enemy human. She has an Artemis bow. Only had a 59% chance to hit, but it still did. 77, 77, it's all 77. No, that's 59. I think you're stronger. Apart from that, we'll let them come to me. That's a lot of damage. And you got a crit besides. It's not fair. "77% chance for my cure did not matter." You're kind of all clumped together. I appreciate that. Let's take one out. You only heal yourself because of course now you're going for the white mage, because why wouldn't you? I will continue working on the goose. One got stopped. Dodged both attacks. That's unpleasant. I could have just finished you off, but there's always a chance that if you take that route that they'll come back to life. Cure yourself, sir. Both strikes hit that time. I know it's stopped, but I'll finish it off anyway. Will a basic blizzard finish you off? Yes, it will. I'm not looking to finish you off just yet. I'm looking to wound you. But you move before the spells work. Unless I try to poison you. I don't really want to do that. Well, then I'll just hit you. Can finish you off while you're doing that. Actually, I'm gonna try and render the speed. If I wanted to go absolutely crazy, I could try and train until Ramsa can teleport and hope that I just get exceptionally lucky fighting Weegraph. I just teleport completely out of his range. Unfortunately, I don't see that as a I don't see that as being very likely. Alright, the you cannot move. The goblin cannot move. That will be before Mustadio acts. I do not appreciate you coming back. And I'll continue trying to run the speed, actually. I'm now actually going to... Now I'll try and steal Evil the Ghost. If they're petrified, they cannot come back. Which is why I'm such a fan of that course of action. I mean, I've done it quite a bit at this point. Got there. Speed, I mean. So he's not getting a lot of turns. No longer immobilized. It missed. I figured it probably would, but I wanted to try. We got the Elven Cloak from the Archer. It's probably pretty safe to say he's down to... No, he still has a speed he can lose. Can I hit him from up here, or would it hit Agrius? It would hit Agrius. And I will move Ramza back over here so that if one of the ghosts comes back again, he is in position to strike immediately. But they shouldn't at this point. I'll get behind them to have a slightly higher chance. Now it's still 43. Yes, they're now at... he's already immobilized, so I'm not trying to disable him too. I will take the MP back, actually. In case I decide I want to do something with it. Does it work even if he has no speed to lose? I actually have no idea. Darn it. The ghost comes back with less health each time. Yeah, I know I can't actually lower his speed anymore, but I'm wondering if it will just say that I miss every time, or if I'll actually have a chance to uh, do it and continue to get experience in that way, even if it's only a 43% chance.
No room for error.
She did not get any experience for doing that. Okay.
I've had better days.
He's still immobilized but can't act.
I must concentrate.
Unfortunately, I don't want to be rending anyone else's speed. So until she has something she can do that doesn't really negatively affect the team, like rending power on mages.
Yes?
Alright. I'm just got enough to get Vanish. We'll be able to get Water Walking and Master Ninja anytime now. That's... Get Blizzaga. Get Magic Boost. You're getting close. You are already mastered. I just need to be willing to change you. The more items she knows how to use, the better. I usually make Mustadio an archer third because it still has that ranged damage. I will take Rend Power. And then I'll start working on other knight things. She has a lot of white mage and black mage spill over JP. I wanted to get to an outfitter to see if they sell some, see if I'm ignoring a, if I'm ignoring something that just gives me speed. That would be the Hermes shoes. Will increase my speed. So I should get a Hermes shoes for Ramza for that battle. I don't know if Reflect works on the spells that they were casting on me. I also don't know if there's just better monk gear overall that would improve Ramza's survivability.
Ready when you are.
At the ready.
See, I see 2 yellow chocobos, a black chocobo, a it's grenade is what it's called, and we've got a knight here with a rune blade. It's got good stuff. Going straight from Estadio, I see. Choco pellets really hurts. I'm gonna try and Judgment Blade the Black Chocobo. It was not stopped, but that's okay. Fire will kill that Chocobo. I can let Ramsa take out the other. Alright, with the Chocobos gone, we are in a much better spot. Or with 2 of the Chocobos gone, there's just 1 more. But, yeah. My Black Mage needs some health back after the pellets. Everyone will actually move before that. I can hit the Chocobo with Flare before it moves. That sounds fun. Alright, the Chocobos are both dead. That's... Thankfully... that triggers before their attack actually goes off. That attack would have killed Ramsa. I only had a 45% chance to hit him, so I knew it wasn't very likely. He moves 3rd, so something like Holy would go after him. But I'll still target him with it. He dodged both hits again. Someone looks hurt. He is very strong. I'm actually surprised that hit. With how much she's evaded everything else in this battle. I've had a heck of a time trying to wound him. With anything. So the fact that I was successful in reducing his power I did not expect. These Adam Studios gun range. I don't care about regular potions. I'm gonna try speed this time. I will take this one with Ramza to get his health back, but I would like to get MP back if possible with other characters. Alright, he's disabled, which will help a lot. Because he still did quite a bit of damage. I wonder if the dead enemy gets in the way. No. Alright, he is disabled and immobilized for the time being. I have no reason to suspect this will work. Attacking from the front, but I'm gonna try it anyway. I'm too close. Don't think there's anywhere where I can actually hit him from right now. So I'll just burn another potion. His defenses are so good that it becomes very difficult to actually do anything to him. I would have been very upset if he had been successful in bringing my helm. There we go, we got his speed down again. Which means I have more chances to try and disable him again before he acts. Ramza should be ready to master Ninja after this. If I'm successful again, I will get 4 moves. His speed is now very low. It can be even lower, but Agrius will get a chance to drop his speed all the way down before he acts again. He still has speed, and the disable wore off immediately. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of speed, so we're definitely having plenty of chances to act before he gets his next move. Alright, that's the speed taken care of. It's down to 1 speed. Still has a lot of power that we can get rid of. It is very strong. And is now disabled. His things are wearing off during my turns because it's taking so long for his turn to come back around. Darn it. I really want her to get experience. But if anyone attacks him, he just straight up dies. I really wish that the story characters got normal moves in addition to whatever special thing they get. I mean, yeah, like once Agrias is a monk, I can use Chakra with her on most turns. If he's both immobilized and disabled, then I may as well use potions to continue getting experience. He did a cloak evasion that time, and his turn is coming up. I like having him disabled because then he can't attack me and have someone counter him to death. Alright, I have rent his power down as far as it's going to go. Same with his speed. Hardly heals anything, but it heals something. Another spam risk on my phone. Oh, good lord. I didn't think about all the focuses I've done.
My turn. Here I go.
All it tells me is that it's from somewhere in the United States, which I knew already. In fact, I know where, because I recognize the area code.
Right.
More than enough to master ninja. Not quite enough to master uh, Black Mage. We need just enough to get that last ice spell. I'll do Ether, and then as many just various things as I can. Alright, I'm gonna get Ren's shield. So that if I have a guy like that again, I can try and break his shield and improve everything else's effectiveness. What I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to turn Ramza into a monk. And we're going to see if either of these cities has better equipment for him as a monk. Anything to increase his potential survivability. Does not appear like anyone has better things for him. So what I will do now is I will change him to a time mage. With the intention of learning as quickly as possible. Maybe even in just a single battle. Teleport. It does take 3,000, but it would be worth it to have. Let's go with better staff. I'll do something else. I'm going to ignore battles for now. I have been leaving errands to be undone, and some of them become unavailable if I go too far. So this is Minstrel in Distress. I have to do this one to unlock another one. So, Chemist is the recommended job here. And Thief is good too. I can't actually send people like Mustadio or Agrius on them. I'm going to make you a chemist while I do that. And Thief is also a good one for that, so I will leave him there. And Radolf, who I got as a backup character, will also become a chemist to do that. So I will send 2 chemists and a thief. 4 days remaining. I can't do more than one at a time, but
We were successful beyond our wildest dreams.
woo. We helped Mameko, a traveling minstrel who had triumphed in an oration contest some years ago. His unique act had long been a favorite of local audiences, but of late he had fallen into a deep creative slump. We drank together in the tavern until the early hours, discussing countless ideas, when an off-the-cuff suggestion of a new hairstyle seemed to spark his imagination, and he began an impromptu performance right there and then. It seemed to us that Mameko was back to his old self, and we retired for some well-deserved sleep.
I never doubted our bros. You did well to choose us for this work. I'll say that much.
And they all got job experience.
Very well.
And completing
What is it?
those, new ones become available. So the other Mameko the Minstrel is now available because I completed the other one. The first one involving him. Thief and Orator are good, and Arithmetician is good as well. I don't have those. Well, I don't have Arithmetician or Orator actually. I have Thief. So let's look at what else I have. Guard Duty. Chemist and White Mage are the ones for this. I'll leave the two people who are already chemists as chemists, and I will temporarily change Little John to a White Mage. It is somewhat surprising to me that Guard Duty is asking for chemists, but okay. So if I just want to complete errands, I don't have to do any battles along the way. I could.
It was a complete success in every sense. It was like a dream come true.
We responded to a call from Larkham Mercantile to protect their caravan from monsters. While fighting off one such attack, one of the chocobo winds overturned, spilling a large stash of prohibited narcotics. We questioned the driver over the matter and revealed that the company president, Naumann Haas, a man aged 1 in 40, was involved in a drug smuggling ring and had ordered the shipment to be sent. The city guard succeeded in arresting Haas as he made to flee, and we received an unexpected reward for helping bring him to justice.
I never doubted our bros. You did well to choose us for this work. I'll say that much. It may surprise you to learn that a delightful artifact also fell into our hands. It is captivating.
And we got an enchanted pistol. This ancient firearm used bullets infused with various magics. In later years, bullets imbued with power directly extracted from espers came to be invented. So, if I were willing to include, you know, I could include characters that I'm actually using since I don't have to battle while I'm doing that. So if I want to like go ahead and make Hammond a mystic, if a job calls for a mystic that is, or whatnot, I could. Alright. We've got several that we can do here. Stolen tomes, which sounds horrible. I would hate for tomes to be stolen. And it's possible that some of these are just not labeled correctly. I don't know if this was updated for... Well, it must be because of one of those names, but I don't see... Oh, there it is. Time Mage, Geomancer, and Arithmetician are what are the recommended jobs for that. I, of course, still do not have an Arithmetician. Nor can I get one. The Miner's Tale is one of the earliest ones, and it recommends Geomancer as a job. So I will make these people Geomancers. In fact, including people that I'm currently using. Make them Geomancers so that they're getting job experience. I can't make you a Geomancer yet. We'll get as many Geomancers as we can for this job. There's no backup job for this one. Just Geomancers are best. And if you don't want to flee from battles, if you're at Egros, you can go between it and Zetan Fortress and not run into any encounters that you need to flee from. A gold rush some years ago led to the establishment of several towns at the foot of Mount Oribos, and for a time the mountain crawled with prospectors. However, the amount of gold soon dwindled, the miners upped and left, and the settlements became not more than ghost towns. With few clues to go on, we made a brief stop at one of the mines and recovered a measly amount of gold. All that remains of the miner's dreams are the tears of the old man in the tavern who told us his tale.
I'm confident this can be repeated in future. We'll take whatever work you have for us.
I'd consider that a job well done.
And I got Mithril Prophets. Shoreline Defense is another one that I have available. That asks for Orator. And again, I still do not have a single Orator available.
What is it? Then what do I believe? Yes?
I have Mystics, yes, but no Orator. And I'm not even sure entirely which is which, if I'm being honest. So I need to move on to the next town. Frontier Conquest. There is no finder's fee for this one. Archer is the recommended job for this one. Well, Little John is already a master archer, so I don't want to make him one.
If you say so.
But I can make these other characters archers temporarily.
What is it?
And Radolf doesn't have enough squire to become an archer.
What is it?
Does Lad? No. Looks like Alicia gets to be an archer for a moment while I do this. I can go between there and Orban Monastery to not have to deal with potential encounters.
The task was far from easy, but we stuck to the plan. The basis for a sizable success.
The Merchant Council of Dordor sponsored a contest as all participants raced to find remnants of a lost civilization in a remote area of Ivalice. All we had to go on was information gleaned from ancient texts, legends, and stories. We raced to be the first to find these undiscovered ruins. To our delight, we were declared winners of the competition.
Goes to show that a good deed is its own reward. The actual reward weren't half bad either. Our run of good fortune continued when we discovered a site of great importance.
Wonder discovered, Valgabard. This village is said to have been inhabited by an order of dark knights. While the fell blades of these knights lent them great power, they also cut short their lives. The order's numbers dwindled until at last none remained. Adventure level increased. And let's at least complete what else is available here. Wayne's targeted. Samurai, ninja, and time mage are the recommended jobs here. There's a second frontier conquest, which I may have better uh, chances of having what it's asking me for. It is still asking for archers, so completing it again makes sense. Well, I still have people as archers.
The task was far from easy, but we stuck to the plan. The basis for a sizable success.
The Merchant Council of Dordor sponsored a second contest to discover a lost ruin in the far-flung corner of Ivalice. There were even more participants than before, and the change to the rules allowed the use of transport, which greatly increased the range of the search. We rented a chocobo and carriage not far from the starting point and succeeded in finding a magnificent ancient wonder.
Trust you'll be giving us more work like this in future. You'd be a fool not to. Our run of good fortune continued when we discovered a site of great importance.
Ronkin Ruins. The Ronkin dynasty dominated the world from its skyborn castle until an enigmatic plague brought about its sudden and tragic demise. Today, its empty ruins float in the cold and desolate silence. So I don't know if any of these characters can... Let's see, Little John can become a ninja. But Ramza is the only other one who can. No one, as of yet, can become a samurai. I'm looking at the Wayne's targeted jobs. I could have a ninja and a couple time mages. I think I'll try that. So let's make Little John a ninja. And make my two mage-like characters time mages. And we will try wins targeted like that. That should be... That should work out. Bacchus Winery's most popular product is Bacchus Liqueur, an incredibly sweet drink made from Bacchus seeds. This fragrant cargo was apparently the reason for the attacks on the company's wains. What was thought to be the work of bandits was actually that of monsters drawn to the sweet aroma. We soon vanquished the creatures, ensuring that Evilisians could again partake of Bacchus's blessing. And I got a Purse of Gil as a bonus. There is now a third frontier contest. I have no reason to suspect that it does not ask for archers as well. Typically jobs of the same nature will request the same jobs. So I will continue to do that. And I will, of course, permit 16 days. My headset may die soon if I don't plug it in. The Merchant Council of Dordrecht sponsored a third frontier contest to locate a lost wonder. The success of the first two events had drawn even more participants than ever before, and the atmosphere was lively. The search area had been extended even further, raising the difficulty once more, but this did little to prevent a third successive victory for our unit. We hope that our historic achievement will further invigorate the arena of exploration. Matoya's Cave. Court Thaumaturge Matoya once enjoyed the adoration of the ancient Ronkan peoples, but that ended with the creation of monsters known as the Enthralled, a work of witchcraft to the lay eye. It was then she took up residence here. Adventure level increases again. So we've done all that. Something was added to the collection, the enchanted pistol and the wonders I found. Also, they're being added to here. I may make a list of those that I can actually check off as I go. So that I don't have, so that I know what I have left to do. I am curious. I'm gonna just scroll down the list looking at the recommended jobs. There's one in Gaug that asks for a squire as a skill save job. There are lots that ask for. There's one at Riovanis where squire is the main job, but of course I have to clear the area before I can do that. It looks like those are the only two where squires. Nope, there's another one. Siltenia Castle, but I need orders as well. Let me go to Galg and see if one of those squire ones is currently available. Clockwork Fair, I believe, is one of them. Ask for thieves and squire. Yes. So Little John is going back to thief. Radolf will go back to squire. And if I had an order, I would use one of those as well, but as I do not, Margeria gets to try her hand at thief. We took part in the Gaug Clockwork Fair as assistants to the Gallifan's Machinists Club. We were responsible for the cleaning and itemizing of delicate components as well as general support duties. The Galliphans enter the competition every year and have received commendations for their skilled work, but have never taken first prize. This time, however, despite more participants than ever before in the contest's history, the Galliphans' complex machinery brought them the overall prize. The joy on the Downriver's face was plain for all to see. Orb of Minwu. The soul of Minwu, the first mage, is said to be sealed within this stone. As such, it is sometimes called the soul of Minwu. An orb only in name, it is actually comma-shaped. Unfortunately, that was not enough for Radolf. Oh, that was enough for Radolf to reach square level 2. And enough for Little John to learn one of the remaining 2 things for a thief. As I'm already in Gaug, I should see what else they have. Mesa's Legacy and Miner Shortage. Mesa's Legacy asks for Time Mage, Geomancer, and Arithmetician. I just need Arithmetician. Have to get someone up to that level. I see all sorts of things involving mining. Mining expedition. I see more miners wanted. And miners wanted. Miner shortage. Geomancer is the job for miner shortage.
What is it?
So let's make people Geomancer again.
If you say so.
This'll serve. I shan't disappoint you.
And do miner shortage with our Geomancers.
The task was far from easy, but we stuck to the plan. The basis for a sizable success.
The Aura mine famous for spectacular veins of gold suffered a cave-in not long ago, prompting the owners to put out a call for miners at short notice. In a rush to excavate as much gold as possible, the miners greedily dug too deep too quickly with little regard for safety. When we arrived, we saw that many tunnels did not have sufficient supports. A cave-in should have been expected. We set to work bolstering the tunnels before we began to dig. We were able to excavate a goodly amount of gold, the proceeds of which the guild promised to use towards the medical costs of the injured miners.
I trust you'll be giving us more work like this in future. You'd be a fool not to.
And we just made money from that one. This is not a town. Orgilis is a town. Let's see what they've got. The fate of our company and merchants' regret. Let's see. Merchants regret asks for Archer. The fate of our company. As for Time Mage Geomancer, and again Arithmetician with Mystic as an option. Note, since Mystic is an option there, I'm going to make someone a Mystic. I'm going to make Winifred a Mystic.
I like it.
I'm going to make... No, I'm going to make Hammond a Mystic. I'm going to make Winifred a Time Mage. And then I'm going to keep Margeria as a Geomancer. Wait, the other one wants Archer. So I'm going to make him a Geomancer. And I'm going to make her an Archer. And I'm also going to make Radolf an Archer now that he can be one. And I haven't changed the Alicia back yet. I'm actually going to take both jobs. So, just to make sure, Merchant's Regret is the one that wants archers. And then this one wants the Geomancer, the Mystic, and the Time Mage. There we go. You can do more than one errand at once. It is often a good idea to do so. Report ready. The merchant ship Highwind had sunk some 100,000 domes off Forgilas Harbor, and we set off to salvage what we could. As it was carrying the molds needed to create chocobons, Samba Export's newest product, some have speculated the ship may have been sunk by a rival firm. However, when we successfully recovered both his ship and his cargo, all the evidence pointed to an unfortunate accident.
I'm confident this can be repeated in future. We'll take whatever work you have for us.
I'd consider that a job well done. Will that be all? Thank you.
And we still have one in progress.
Good day to you. Master Spill, an errand's been completed. Right then.
We were successful beyond our wildest dreams.
They say that faith reveals all things, but it seems this does not apply to lost wonders. The man who told us of the ruins in question, a merchant by the name of Bibbit, has faith only in money. When we told him of the site we discovered, he ran from the tavern to see for himself. Mayhap he saw a profit to be made there? Who knows? We can only hope this whole experience will teach him that there is more to life than coin. Hello Chloe, welcome to the stream. My day is going fine.
I never doubted our bros. You did.
As fate would have it, during our travels we also stumbled across a long
We
lost
found a crystal tower. The spire, once the heart of the ancient kingdom of Baron, was fortified by the labyrinthine city at its base. The tower's crystal walls were a symbol of the royal family's wealth and power, but also of oppression.
Another? I'd consider that a job well done. Need anything else? Thanks.
Out of curiosity, I'm going to check my achievements real quick and see what achievements are related to, I have to remove a ally status ailment or return their HP 5 times using throw items. I need to throw things more often. There are a lot of things you need to do, like 5 times in battle to get the achievement. As far as these, it looks like achieving great success in every errand is one. There's probably also some of the hidden achievements that are related to errands, but they're hidden achievements, I don't know what they are. But we've done a number of errands now. I think I'll do one more. I'll check for one at Lionel Castle. We have 5 available here. So let's take a look. Obviously what I need to do is take the characters that I'm using on these and level them up a little bit. Yes, I am reading chats. I see every message that is sent. The Dawn Queen asks again for Time Mage, Geomancer, Arithmetician, or Bard. Runes at the Gira Pass. Let's see if I have the jobs I need for that. That asks simply for Archer. That is something I can certainly manage. I already have people made to be archers. The next one down on the list would be Finland Mystery. That's asking for Black Mage, Geomancer, and Thief. Well, Winifred hasn't quite mastered Black Mage yet, so I will change them back. So need a Geomancer and a Thief. You're a Geomancer right now, but you still have not mastered Thief. So I'll change you back. And you're not on an errand right now, so I will make you a Geomancer. Thief, Geomancer, and Black Mage. That's an interesting group. And I'll look at the other two, but I probably need to wait for some people to get back before. There's appear to be several zeros errands. At least 3. There's Zero Strikes. There's Zero's Final Blow. Zero's Return. Zero Strikes Again. But looking through this list, I do not see his challenge. I do see my little carrot, though. Which asks simply for order. Another job I do not currently have unlocked. So I'll complete the 2 that I was able to start. Alright. Both are ready.
We were successful beyond our wildest dreams.
After hearing the old farmer's account, we made our way to the Yara Pass. There we witnessed an unusual local festival in which the small folk danced around a bonfire. We later learned that it originated from a sacrificial ritual dating back to ancient times that was still performed today. Leaving the ceremony behind us, we continued to the pass. Though the ruins we discovered nearby were no ancient wonder, our efforts were not in vain.
We've done good work. Any plaudits we receive will be richly deserved.
As fate would have it, during our travels we also stumbled across a long-lost wonder.
Flying Fortress. The winged ones of ages past possessed technology allowing them to transmute cloudstone into crystals, like the ones that keep this castle aloft. Unfortunately, both the winged ones and their wondrous knowledge were lost in the cataclysm.
Another ancient wonder, eh? I'd consider that a job well done.
And Finland Mystery completed.
I am pleased to inform you that the task ended in great success.
We struck out for the Tchigolith Fenlands in hopes of finding an ancient wonder there. The poisonous fens are an accursed remnant of the 50 Years' War, and even today their desolation bears silent witness to the brutality of that conflict. At the far side of those sodden lands, shrouded in a thick mist, we found the ruins. As we were departing for home, we saw something extraordinary, a salsedia flower blooming beside the noxious waters. By the time our children are grown, would that these fens again be carpeted in salsedia blossoms. You get job experience.
We came across this long-lost wonder.
Citadel of Trials. Once a school of training for the royal guard in the ancient kingdom of Baron, graduates of the institution filled the ranks of the Red Wings, a prestigious airship corps, but the castle and its esteemed soldiers were lost in the cataclysm.
Another ancient wonder, eh? Remarkable. Congratulations. Your standing as an adventurer has improved.
And we get another adventurer level.
I'd consider that a job well done.
So, as I cannot find Zero's challenge, I don't know if I have the requested jobs. Oh, there it is. It was hidden behind a pop-up. Ninja is the requested job, and Chemist is the backup. Little John is the only one I have that can become a ninja.
I can but try.
At least I believe so. I mean, Ramsa, yes, but... Alright, so Radolf will go back to Chemist for that job, and so will... Hammond and Winifred have already mastered Chemist. Margeria has not. So Margeria will become a Chemist as well. And we'll do that job. And this one will probably unlock additional jobs that I can do soon. Okay. I'm gonna have to do something crazy with my equipment once I'm done with all of this, because it's been shifted around so much as I change people's jobs over and over again. Zero had issued a warning that he would strike, threatening to take Viscount Barfire's assets. We waited in the courtyard of the Viscount's manse for the master thief, who is notorious for targeting corrupt aristocrats, but he infiltrated the grounds dressed as a guard and escaped our watch. We managed to corner him in the gardens as he attempted to flee with paintings, coin, and other valuables, but he disappeared in a cloud of smoke. Though Zero got away, he left behind a rare treasure and documents implicating the Viscount in criminal activities. We apprehended the Viscount and gave him up to the authorities, claiming the treasure as our reward.
I dare say you share our joy at such a wondrous achievement.
We also acquired this handsome thing, a valuable antique, mayhap?
Anavia Chronicles, an account of Kus Castle in the region of Anavia documenting the story of three sisters. Sections of importance are penned in an ancient script now indecipherable. And Adventurer has been going up, now I improved Treasure Hunter as well. I imagine there will be new things available shortly. And that's the reading material. So I will read that to end the stream. I got a bunch of things done, and next time I will be leveled up a bit more, and I will have speed boots on Ramza so that hopefully I can do what I want to in that next battle. So, if you are watching live on Twitch or on YouTube, thank you for being here. Whether you chatted or looked, I appreciate you. If you're watching the archive later on YouTube, thank you for checking it out. I am going to read the Anavia Chronicles, whatever that leads me to. Once I get this catch out of my throat. Okay. From the records at Kus Castle, Anavia. Chapter 8. The 7th Liege Lord Albert Sane and the Portrait of a Family. Verse 7. Lutia, third daughter of Lord Albert Sane. The courtyard at Kus Castle. Three young women, all daughters of Castellan Albert, finished their morning studies and stepped into the garden. Maria was the eldest at 17. I am bade play the harp in the next concert. I am terribly nervous. What if I make a fool of myself? Alicia was the second eldest at 16. Possessed of a wild disposition, she did not take near enough care for her words. You will be fine, sister. Goodness knows you have confidence to spare. And then there was Lutia, the youngest, at the tender age of 13. There will be so many people in attendance. Makes me nervous just thinking about it. However, Lutia's mind was preoccupied with other matters. Baron, no! Off the lawn! The master will have my head if he catches you. I would die a dog's death were I thrown out. Kurt Grohl, a boy of 14 and son to Edmund the groundskeeper. He and Lutia shared naught between them save the impenetrable wall of class and birth. Yet when Lutia thought of him, her pulse quickened. Gods, my heart, never I felt such excitement, such elation. My heart is beating at least 100 times faster now than it did during my first dance with Leaf, I swear it. Why is it beating 200 times faster, I declare? What if it were to beat 300, no, 1,000 times faster? Oh, sweet Kurt, my light, my darling, what have we done to deserve our birth? Why must you be a humble gardener and I a noble? Why did the stars torture us so? Ludia, are you feeling well? That was Maria, always fussing over Ludia. I know. It's that dog you want, isn't it? I'll go and fetch it for you. And that was Alicia, always assuming to know what's best. Sisters, please, you have the wrong of it. I am very well and in no need of a dog. I must stop thinking like this at once, Lydia considered privately. He's a servant. What if father were to find out? I shudder to think of the trouble that would befall my Kurt. Or will I persist in this? I could profess my love for him. We could run away together. So, I can confess my love, I can discuss it with my sisters, or I can say it's much too short-sighted. I will confess my love, I think. Lucia imagined how the scene might play out. Kurt, do you have a moment? What is it, milady? He would ask. Milady? No, that's much too much. She blushed, stammering slightly. Are you unhappy with the topiaries? Say the word and I will make them right. The garden is lovely, Kurt, as always, but it's not the grounds I wish to speak of. Lucia sighed miserably to herself. What a fool I am to think such a match should be possible. Father has promised me to another, and I ought to be faithful to my future lord. But my heart yearns for my darling Kurt. Lucia, a girl of 13. It was another day in the summer of her life. What a day it has been, Lucia reflected. Tell me, my darling Kurt, what would you have me do? I long to be with you, but you feel as if a million leagues away. I fear one day soon my heart will shatter. The sun will rise and it will set, but no amount of days can ford the divide between us. Have I only to pray, to hope that the heavens in all their cruelty heed my humble plea? Oh, Kurt, can you and I hope for a brighter tomorrow? The courtyard was it was on any given day, nary a thing different, not even its visitors. There was Maria, Alicia, and Lydia. Now where did Lydia run off to? Is it just me, or has she been acting strangely of late? It's not just you. She has turned her hand to gardening of all things. In the corner of the courtyard Lydia sat alone, tending to a quaint bed of flowers. Ah, at last. It's starting to look like a proper garden. I wonder what Kurt will say when he sees it. It was Alicia's cry that broke Lydia's concentration. Lydia, what are you doing there? Hurry up, you'll be late for your studies. Lydia rose from her flower bed. Coming, sister. I will see you tomorrow, my flowers. No sooner had Lydia stood than she spotted Kurt from across the garden. Her pulse leapt, her mouth dried, and she froze on the spot. Kurt, however, paid her not so much as a passing glance as he disappeared into his shed and out of sight. Lydia was beset with nerves. Should I show him the flowers? They are not in such sorry shape, are they? I did this all for him, after all. If he doesn't at least see them, my efforts will be all for naught. Call for him, remain quiet, or examine the flowers again. Let's call for him. What am I doing? She asked herself. I can't possibly speak to him. Not now. I must calm myself, only then shall I approach him. Do not leave yet, Kurt. Pray remain until I open my eyes again. Lutia, a girl of 13. It was another day in the summer of her life. Didn't go up at all. What a day has this been. Tell me, my darling Kurt, what would you have me do? This is the same. I long to be with you, but you feel as if a million leagues away. I fear one day soon my heart will shatter. I would take up. Tell me, Kurt, do you find my excitement odd? The growing love for you, it frightens me, though not half so much as father does. He would take you from me were to discover us. My heart simply must beat 1,000 times faster if we are to see a happy ending. Oh, my prince, when will I be able to hold you in my arms, listen to your honeyed voice, and share in your stories? I can only pray such a day is not far off. The courtyard was as it was on any given day, nary a thing different, not even its visitors. There was Maria, Alicia, and Lydia. Alicia, get down from there this instant. You are too ill to be doing anything half so dangerous. Alicia, however, would not listen, for she was 16 and loved nothing more than to climb. Dangerous? This? It's a tree, not a sword. Oh gods, I can't bear to watch. However, Lucia, for all her concern, had her eyes upon another. You've had your fun, now come down. You know I'll be blamed for this if you're caught. It was Kurt who chastised Alicia now. He was a servant boy of 14, son to the groundskeeper Edmund. Kurt, I insist you come up with me. What if I were to fall? I'd have no one to catch me, cried Alicia in a distinctively peremptory tone. Enough of this, sister. Come down. Maria, the eldest, demanded with a stomp of her foot. Meanwhile, Lucia wrung her hands, fretting. Alicia was quickly putting Lucia in a sour mood. Why does she need Kurt of all people? She thought miserably. What would they speak of up there among the leaves and branches out of earshot? It made the young girl queasy with anxiety. In her heart, Lucia could only plead. Don't go there, Kurt. Stay here with me. Stop him, shouted Alicia, or join them in the tree. It's just a shout at Alicia. Stop this at once, shrieked Lydia to her sister. You can say you are bothering Kurt. You will hurt yourself or run off. You're bothering. Lucia was not in the correct state of mind to speak Kurt's name, so she swallowed the words along with her feelings. Lucia, a girl of 13, her heart yet a flower bulb, hidden beneath the soil, eager to bloom. These are still the early days of summer. What a day it has been, Lucia reflected. Tell me, my darling Kurt, what would you have me do? I long to be with you, but you feel as if a million leagues away. I fear one day soon my heart will shatter. Not too far for. The sun will rise and it will set, but no amount of days can ford the divide between us. Have I only to pray? To hope that the heavens in all their cruelty heed my humble plea? Oh, Kurt, can you and I hope for a brighter tomorrow? The courtyard was as it was on any given day, nary a thing different, not even its visitors. There was Maria, Alicia, and Lydia. A foul mood was upon Alicia today. Why are you making that face, Alicia? You look positively bizarre. What's it to do with you? Leave me be. Maria and Lucia fell silent, their sisters unpleasant and infectious. That father of ours promised to take me to the theater tonight, but he cancelled. Again. Alicia was nothing if not direct. Lydia found herself jealous. Father had never made her a promise like that. What is all this, ladies? Is something amiss? It was Edmund who appeared from behind. Good afternoon. Fine weather, isn't it? Maria greeted their groundskeeper. The two others paid their respects in turn and then explained Alicia's ill temper. My, you poor creature, Edmund tutted. She is a spoiled thing, that's all. It's Kurt who deserves pity, if anyone, Maria nodded. Kurt? No, my lady, he is worth no such compassion. There was a touch of melancholy in Edmund's eyes as he turned to Lydia. Lady Lydia, does something trouble you? No, not particularly. I want to speak with my beloved, or I feel bad for Kurt. I want to speak with my beloved. Perhaps. I wish to profess my heart to the man I love. Only after the confession was made did Lutia realize her error. She blushed furiously. How gauche, Lutia. A real lady would never approach a gentleman in such a fashion. Alicia mocked Lutia, her voice shrill. Never is a heart happier than when it is in love. Edmund returned to his duties, a sunny smile on his face. Lutia puzzled over the words, hunting for their meaning. Lutia, a girl of 13, her heart yet a flower bulb, hidden beneath the soil eager to bloom. These were still the early days of summer. What a day it has been, Lutia reflected. Tell me, my darling Kurt, what would you have me do? I long to be with you, but you feel as if a million leagues away. I fear one day soon my heart will shatter. The sun will rise and it will set, but no amount of days can ford the divide between us. Have I only to pray, to hope that the heavens to hope that the heavens and all their cruelty heed my humble plea. Oh, Kurt, can you and I hope for a brighter tomorrow? The courtyard was as it was on any given day. Nearly anything different, not even its visitors. There was Maria, Alicia, and Lydia. Lovely weather, wouldn't you agree? Hard to believe such a thick fog was here this morning. Certainly are an early riser. I wasn't even aware it was anything but sunny today. It was foggy? Goodness, one misses so much of the world when to bed. Huh. Lydia released a gasp as a gust of wind tore the hat from her head. The accessory sailed through the birch trees until it was gone from sight and lost to the forest. You are an utter dullard, you know that? Alicia spattered her younger sister before taking off running after the hat. Alicia, no, you mustn't run. You've only just recovered. Alicia ground to a halt and turned back to Lydia. It flew in the direction of Heath's Haven. Let's chase it down together, shall we? Uh... Hmm. I'm trying to figure this out, but... Let's see. So long as we walk, or Edmund will fetch that. Let's say so long as we walk. Oh, stop it. Can't you see I am walking? Or are you as blind as you are foolish? Alicia and Lucia bickered as they walked until they reached Heath Haven, that is, where Alicia broke into a run. I simply adore it here. Look there, it's Larkspur. Oh, and there's Gazania. The allure of flowers proved too powerful, and soon Alicia had quite given up on locating her sister's lost article of clothing. Lydia took a seat on a nearby bench. After a time, a boy carrying Lydia's missing hat appeared and she felt a flutter in her stomach. It was Kurt. Lydia's heart launched into her throat and began to pound so ferociously she feared all the world could hear it. She cast her eyes away. Before long, Alicia returned with the hat, and Kurt was gone. The amount of relief that swelled in Lydia made her feel pathetic. Lutia, a girl of 13, her heart yet a flower bulb, hidden beneath the soil, eager to bloom. These were still the early days of summer. What a day it has been, Lutia reflected. Tell me, my darling Kurt, what would you have me do? I long to be with you, but you feel as if a million leagues away. I fear one day soon my heart will shatter. 580. Sun will rise and it will set. No amount of days can ford the divide between us. Have I only to pray? To hope that the heavens in all their cruelty healed my humble plea? Oh, Kurt, can you and I hope for a brighter tomorrow? Courtyard was as it was on any given day, and everything different, not even its visitors. There was Maria, Alicia, and Ludia. Now where did Ludia run off to? Is it just me, or has she been acting strangely late? It's not just you, she has turned her hand in gardening of all things. In the corner of the courtyard, Ludia sat alone, tending to a quaint bed of flowers. Ah, at last, it's starting to look like a proper garden. Wonder what Kurt will say when he sees it. Mistress Ludia? Ah, so it is. Oh, Edmund. Good day to you. Begging your pardon, I didn't mean to startle you. Mistress? Might I inquire what that is there? Oh, this? Well, it's just a wee flower bed. A pet project of mine, you see. Edmund was at a loss for words, surprise clear in his wide eyes. You have been tending to them? Truly? Yes, truly. What do you make of them? The seasoned gardener gave the flowers and soil a long look over. These are fine plants, to be sure, but you must let me and my son handle such work. I would not have your hands dirtied. But I like the work. Well, if Kurt will tend to them, are my flowers really in such a poor state? Well, if Kurt will tend to them. Well, I suppose if Kurt's name stuck in her throat. I meant no offence. As groundskeeper, it is an honour to see your ladyship take such care of humble flowers. Edmund was quick to rephrase his words after he saw Lucia's eyes tinge a sombre note. Edmund, mindful of the girl, lectured her well on the ins and outs of gardening. Alas, Edmund neglected to tidy away his work tools, which remained in disarray in the middle of the garden, an oversight for which he would later be severely reprimanded. Lucia was oblivious to the scolding. For her, the early afternoon was one of bliss. Lucia, a girl of 13, her heart yet a flower bulb, hidden beneath the soil, eager to bloom. These were still the early days of summer. What a day it has been, Lucia reflected. Tell me, my darling Kurt, what would you have me do? I long to be with you, but you feel as if a million leagues away. I fear one day soon my heart will shatter. A knock, proceeded Albert's voice. Still awake, child? Off to bed with you. I hear you are often late to your afternoon studies. The time for play is done. Now sleep. Yes, father. Good night, Lucia cried, settling down for bed. Could it be he's privy to my secret? Gods, I hope not. He would never forgive me. You can lose 20 points once, I believe. Courtyard as it was on any given day, and everything different, not even its visitors. There was Maria, Alicia, and Lucia. Lovely weather, wouldn't you agree? Hard to believe such a thick fog was here this morning. Certainly are an early riser. I wasn't even aware it was anything but sunny today. It was foggy? Goodness, one misses so much of the world when to bed. Huh! Lucia released a gasp as a gust of wind tore the hat from her head. The accessory sailed through the birch trees till it was gone from sight and lost to the forest. Oh no! My hat! The exposed roots snagged Lucia's foot, yanking her off her feet, and Alicia's mocking laughter was in her ears. Huh! Not even your hat wants to be topped up with this head of yours. Lucia cast a look back over her shoulder to lash out at Alicia. I'm not witless. The wind is to blame, or I don't care if I am witless. The wind is to blame. It was the wind, Alicia. I'm no more witless than you. Lucia went racing after the hat, but a familiar voice stopped her. Milady, what is it? Might I be of assistance? From out of the corner of her eye she saw who the voice belonged to. It was none other than Kurt. I'll pretend not to hear. Lucia pretended not to hear, but inside she was in turmoil. Her heart thundered and butterflies took flight in her stomach. She pantomimed hunting for her hat for a short time longer, till something fell upon her head. Turning round, she came face to face with Kurt. I believe this is yours, milady, though I am afraid it's become rather sullied on its journey back to you. Lydia froze, nerves sealing her movements. Kurt was no better. He too stared blankly. Thank you. This hat means a lot to me. But the besotted girl was already dashing off before her thanks was complete. Lydia's heart had wings and it was soaring. A song was on her lips, an old song, and one that carried the tune of love. Lucia, a girl of 13, her heart yet a flower bulb, hidden beneath the soil, eager to bloom. These were still the early days of summer. What a day this has been, Lydia reflected. Tell me, my darling Kurt, what would you have me do? I long to be with you. Me feel as if a million leagues away. I fear one day soon my heart will shatter. Oh, I don't think I was supposed to go that high. Have I only to pray, to hope that the heavens and all their cruelty heed my humble plea? Oh, Kurt, can you and I hope for a brother tomorrow? Morning, daughter. How do you fare? Though it was her handmaid's responsibility to rouse Lucia every morning, today it was her lord father who woke her. A tendril of dread unfurled in Lucia's stomach. Father? What is it? What brings you here? I have already spoken to Alicia, but I have a mind to send you both to school in Lhasa. Lhasa was several days' ride from Goose Castle by carriage. Kurt would become no more than a distant memory were Lucia to do as she was bade. Father, no, this is much too sudden. My daughter, the decision is yours to make, but I have a responsibility to see you properly introduced into noble society. Besides, I cannot keep watch over you forever. The help keeps me busy enough as is. Her breath seized in her throat. Father knew of her love for Kurt. Her hands found their way up to her cheeks. I will hear your decision at supper the day after next. The command made, her father swept out of the room. Lucia, a girl of 13, sat on her bed weeping, a tender, innocent love still warm in her heart. And so ends this tale of love. Ow. I do not get 1,000 points. There's no reward for doing so.
These tomes are the product of much sweat and toil.
It's a shame, but it happens. I will see you in the next one.